going on, Falcon fans? Your boy Canoe coming back at you with another video. So today, the Falcons still rolling, bringing in new additions to this 2023 Atlanta Falcons team. Talk about two signings today, one from yesterday, and one just came in probably about 45 minutes ago. The Atlanta Falcons still, like we said yesterday, got cap space. We know that we're going to add to the team, and we're going to talk about both of these guys that they have added within the last 24 hours. So guys, with that being said, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys out here I talk about. And please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So let's get right into it, guys. As of today, Atlanta Falcons, I had the cap number for after the signing for 1 hour free agency. Mack Hollins, wide receiver out from the Las Vegas Raiders. The oldest wide receiver that we have in the room. He actually had his breakout season for the Raiders last year with 57 receptions, 690 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was second on the team in receiving yards and touchdowns to Devontae Adams. So he was definitely a big playmaker for the Raiders last year. Hollins pretty much made his niche on special teams. So he loves playing special teams. Going to replace a guy like Cardell Hodge and Mike Ford, who just signed with the Cleveland Browns. So we actually lose both of those guys, two special team aces that we had. Man, Hollins is definitely a guy that could come in and take place on their special teams. But he could also, if the Falcons do not decide to bring in another receiver, could go as our second receiver behind Drake London. Another big body guy, a guy who's over 220 pounds, 6'4", has to reach. Another red zone target for the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons have a starting five for their targets. You think about a guy like Cordell Patterson, Jonnu Smith, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. Now you add Mack Hollins to that. We tried to do that last year when we bring guys like Geronimo Allison and Tate, but no, those guys did not pan out. Also with Brian Edwards, another guy from the Vegas Raiders. But hopefully this signing is good. I think it's really good because he's really physical, really going to work good for us in the run game. He's a good blocker in the run game. And like I said, contested catches, another guy like a Drake London and like a Kyle Pitts that can get up and be a good red zone target. So when we get in the red zone, teams will have to figure out who they're going to actually cover because we got big, tall weapons that quarterback Desmond Ridder definitely could just put it up and give those guys a chance. Those deep corner routes in the end zone. So hopefully this signing will work for us. Not sure if the Atlanta Falcons going to make it another addition in the receiver room. Most people believe that we probably need somebody that can actually take the top off. So names out there, Chart still out there, Hartman still out there. So we definitely could possibly bring in another receiver, or we could go in and bring a speedy receiver in the draft as well. So we will have to see what the Atlanta Falcons decide to do with the receiver room. But right now, Mack Hollins look like he will be receiver 2 for the Atlanta Falcons unless the Atlanta Falcons decide to make another move. Also, today it was a signing. We talked about Mike Hughes actually visiting the Atlanta Falcons. I guess he liked his visit. We know he had a connection with our assistant head coach, Jerry Gray, our secondary pass coordinator. The history he had with him. Coming in, he played 16 games with the Detroit Lions last year. Actually started 6th game. He played 57 games total in the NFL. He had stints with the Chiefs, the Vikings, and now, like I said, with the Lions. The big question is for Mike Hughes, who's predominantly been playing on the outside as a corner, actually played 220 snaps on the inside last year for the Detroit Lions. So it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do with Mike Hughes, if he can actually be that nickel corner for us. If that's the case, it could help us because we did lose Isaiah Oliver and, like I said, Mike Ford, another guy that was playing on the inside at that nickel spot. Don't forget about D. Alford and Darren Hall as well, guys that can actually add to that depth. I think that brings us up to about 11 cornerbacks in the room, which is like you always want to have that competition at that position. Cornerbacks is a premium to have, especially with all these open spreaded offenses. And we do not want to be in the situation where we were last year when we lost both of our starting corners and our defense really was hindered by bringing in guys that could not, hold up the water like we wanted them to. So adding depth is never a bad thing for any team. But Hughes could be look like it's a 2-year deal. So they're making that somewhat of a commitment. It's not like a 1-year prove-it deal. They signed him to a 2-year deal. So he could actually be our nickel corner, which would put him with Hayward, Terrell, Bates, Grant, being our starter secondary going off to start the season. Really interesting. Like both signings, we know, once again, the front office, Terry Fontenot, being real frugal with his money, not going out paying lots, but he's adding good quality, solid pieces to the team to help build a complete team, right? We're not going out making huge, big, splashy signings, taking up all the salary cap, thinking that one individual is going to change the whole team. We're going out building piece by piece, bringing in good pieces that can fit to make the whole team better as a whole. So that's what you like to see. I can say one thing about these Atlanta Falcons. Every time we think they're going to sign somebody or go in one direction, they come out to nowhere with a different signing that we never seen coming, like a guy like Mack Hollins. I think this year, for all the signings that the Atlanta Falcons have done, I think the only one that people probably could have guessed was Jesse Bates, right? Every other pick that the Atlanta Falcons have brought to this team, every other individual, has been somebody that probably wasn't on our radar, especially mine. I'm not sure about you guys. If you thought some of these guys was going to be Atlanta Falcon, let me know. But for the most part, only guy that I could pretty much thought about being Atlanta Falcons was Jesse Bates. Every other guy was something out of left field. But at the end of the day, I like each move that they have made so far. Bringing in Cornell Armstrong yesterday, bringing in Tay Davis, guy like Taylor Heineke, of course, Amayada, Ellis. Every move they have made so far, trading for John Smith, every move the Atlanta Falcons have made up to now, we're starting to get to see the plan, the pieces of the puzzle get put together. Now with the signing of Cornell Armstrong and Mike Hughes, you can kind of see where the Atlanta Falcons might go in the draft. We'll get more into that later on in the next coming weeks. But I really believe that it's going to be probably pass rusher. If they don't make a move in free agency to just solidify that, still could go cornerback again because Casey Hayward is a little bit older on that side. But hopefully stay on the defensive side of the ball, maybe defensive line. But we know their philosophy, best player available. So at this point, the Falcons could go any direction because they're filling up a lot of their needy spots on this team. Only question that we probably have to consider is the offensive line. That left guard position is still open, and it's going to be an issue if we don't address that. So guys, let me know what you think about Mack Hollins and Mike Hughes, the new additions to the Atlanta Falcons. This is your boy Ricondo. coming back at you with another video. Peace.